What's up, everybody, guys? Everyone, how you doing this morning, late afternoon, evening, and depending on what time you're watching this. So, I've been thinking of doing this, but yeah, I'm gonna start my own type of podcast or something. But I'm gonna see if I can try to do live ones where I can post them on like Spotify or something. I don't know. Maybe in time I can. I'll just let you guys know about that. So I'm gonna just do it on my YouTube channel, see how that goes. And if you guys want to be featured in this type of podcast I'm doing, I'm gonna try to find a way to do that. But right now, I'm just gonna do a couple of solo ones when it's just me talking. If you guys don't like that, you can just click off the video right now. But if you like it, or if you want to give this thing a try, be sure to watch it or listen to it because I have no gameplay. And be sure to leave a like and let me know your thoughts about this in the comments. If you guys want me to continue, let me know. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first one, when I think it was 2 days ago, I saw this new trailer for Shazam and Aquaman. Then I watched both of them. If you guys haven't seen that, you should go check it out. Recommend it. But yeah, the thing about it with these films, like they try to make it more cool, more epic. And I thought about this, like, what is like the greatest film that I ever saw? So I'm like thinking, like going back to my younger days, because I used to watch a lot of TV. So yes, I would see something that I would never get tired of watching. So yeah, that movie is Spider-Man. So if you guys have not seen that, oh my gosh, you guys missed out. But if you watch it nowadays, it's kind of like boring, or I don't know if it's interesting with anybody if they like to watch old movies. But yeah, I love the Spider-Man type of franchise movie. The my first one I watched that I fell in love with was the Tobey Maguire film of how they did Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Then it goes to Andrew Garfield, where they only did 2. Don't know why. And then we got the new actor Tom Hollyfield. I don't know if I pronounced that name correctly. Maybe I butchered it. I don't know. So yeah, let's get into more depth with these movies. So I think it was somewhere when I was like 8, 7 years old, whatever out there. So I think back then, somewhere in the 2000s, before even 2010, I believe, they have like VH tapes or whatever, and they have like copies of Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire film. So I watched them. I never stopped watching these because I feel like in these films that you feel more connected with the actor. And yeah, a lot of people can say that with any other film. But the thing is how that film made me so connected is because, like, how Stan Lee, the guy who created this idea, he's the father of all Marvels. He created this character. Then I watched it, and like I think it's one of the best films I ever seen when I was a kid, like nonstop. I would like watch this more than any other TV show that I would love, like Courage the Cowardly Dog, stuff like that. For all those old kids who watches 2000 cartoons. But yeah, I would always like to watch Spider-Man. Doesn't matter which one, 2, and 3. I always love it. I just like how just Spider-Man, really. That's why I love about it. It's just him being Spider-Man. Then I think I kind of stopped that when I realized it's not about Spider-Man, it's also about the character. So Peter Parker. Peter Parker is like any other character, he's just a regular kid. Excuse me. And then you got these spider powers. So to go excuse me, to go a little bit more depth, there's like many issues of his origins. I'm gonna just keep a simple one from the film I saw. Peter Parker lives with his aunt and his uncle. He went to a school field trip. He was like a type of nerd. He get picked on sometimes. And he went to this field trip, and it's talking about genetics with spiders. And there was one spider that was missing, and he was taking a girl's picture that he had a crush on. And then she left, and he got bit by a spider. Then it shows that those spiders were super spiders that are capable of flexibility, agility, stuff like that. So he got bit. So when he went home, he felt not too good, and he got changes. He shows a clip, well, not a clip, or a scene where it shows that his DNA is with spiders. Yada yada yada. Fast forward that he realizes that his body's changed, and he got these new powers that he can climb on walls and shoot webs out of his wrist. And yeah, his first idea was to become like costume freak. It's just to win some money, but he got scammed. His uncle died because of a murderer that he let go. Then he dressed up as what he was wearing to wrestle to get some money, and yeah, he found the guy. He didn't kill him. I think he let him tripped over and then died. Then he updated his whole look to now. If you guys search up Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the costume looks like very clean, especially in the Spider-Man 3, how they just outlined the black lines or whatever on his costume. But yeah, like, I love this movie because you can feel connected to Peter Parker, because not only that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but he also has another life. He's not always a crime-fighting superhero. He's always just a regular person. You know, he's a photographer that he takes pictures from the Daily Bugle to earn some money. And yeah, he's always like a nerd type and just think some goofy, wacky stuff. I don't know too much about science that way, but yeah, he's a very smart, very capable type of person. I feel like that's what makes it such a great film, because it's not always like superheroes like Superman or Batman. You can't be related to those guys because their origins are a little bit different. And yes, people can say they feel connected, but it's like something about Spider-Man makes it so special, because he's just an ordinary guy that's just have powers. Not only he's a superhero, but he's just an ordinary person that lives these everyday lives. And I don't know if that's the reason, but I just love it, because I feel like I have more connections with him than any other superhero. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about Spider-Man that makes him feel more connected towards the character. And moving along, the second film, he had complications with himself and what he wants to do with his life and to become Spider-Man no more. Long story short, he became Spider-Man, and yeah, that's it. And the third one was kind of good in the type of way that we actually got two villains that he faced, and he kind of went through a different path of what it means to be a good superhero, or what it means to great power. Great power comes in great responsibility. Famous quote right there from Ben Parker. But yeah, he had a kind of complications with himself, kind of a little bit, than with other people, and his alter ego, because of his black suit that he decided that he wore instead of listening to Dr. Connors. But you guys should watch those three films. Those are pretty good. So moving along, so like I love them, then I keep watching them repetitively, and yeah, I like pretty much everything they did about it. I feel like Spider-Man is like a perfect masterpiece of a movie. It has a good narrative type of story that's telling you about not only that he's just Spider-Man, but he's also Peter Parker. He has other things that and other issues that he has. He's his own person. He has not jobs, but he has responsibilities he needs to do. Not only as Spider-Man, but alone as Peter Parker. And it's pretty good, and I feel like they did really well with this film. So moving on, when we head over to Andrew Garfield's film. Oh yeah, by the way, Tobey Maguire, you did the best. You're the best actor I can ever see when I was a child. So moving along from that, we got the Andrew Garfield film from Amazing Spider-Man. I feel like it did a little bit more of what Tobey Maguire films didn't, and that is how we got a little bit more story of Peter Parker, that he has a mom, both parents, and his dad is a employee of Ops Court, and it was something to do with Osborn tracking all his all of his research, to use, and he got rid of it, and that's how Peter Parker was raised from his grandparents, his Aunt May and his Uncle Ben, because his parents, his dad specifically, because he worked at Oscorp, he didn't want anybody to go after them, and specifically for Peter, so he dropped them off at Uncle and Aunt May's house, and that's how he lived his life from there. So fast forward, same type of concept that he got bit, and he started to have these spider powers, and we kind of see more like how he dealt with them in school than what Tobey Maguire did. I have nothing against these three actors at all, but yeah, it shows that. Then he decided to go after his uncle's killer, so same thing, same concept again, but this time he went for multiple different ones, because there was a guy with a blonde hair and a tattoo on his left hand, that he was trying to find all those guys, one of those guys, to see which one was his Uncle Ben's killer. Then, yeah, he kind of updated his costume and his web shooters. This is like the best scene I loved so far, because it shows Peter using his brain, using his knowledge. He developed his own web shooters. You guys should look that up on YouTube. I feel like they did really good on that scene to show Peter's capability of designing things that's beyond any other human capability of level of like smartness. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but yeah, he developed his own web shooters and his own costume. Best scene I ever saw. In Spider-Man. There's nothing wrong with the other ones. I like this one specifically on this scene to shows how smart, how capable Peter is using the knowledge that he learned into consideration. And then, he made his little costume. I think it looks pretty dope, and it has to be like one of the top favorites Spider-Man costumes. And yeah, then he has some conflict with Dr. Connors, aka Lizard. There's different storylines, if you can kind of say it like that. But yeah, all well ends well, and I don't want to say the whole thing. And yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, it kind of updated the costume after the first one being teared up. He made a second one. I like it. It's kind of like more what Tobey Maguire's costume is, but like the eyes are bigger, and the size are different because actors different heights and stuff like that. The conflict on this one, it wasn't too much big. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, but it's just like I feel like they could have done something more. And then and at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 film, it was a guy, I don't know, Mr. Fisk, something like that. They showed a scene of the Sinister Six, of the Dr. Octopus's arms, the Vulture's wings, something like that. So it was telling us that there's going to be a third Amazing Spider-Man film, but featuring the Sinister Six. Like, I was pretty happy about that until they canceled it. I don't know why. I was pretty disappointed about that. I really wanted them to go way far and make this one a banger, but it didn't. Surprisingly. So moving on to, what is it? Oh yeah, Tom Holyfield. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, so I'm sorry if I butcher it. Tom Holyfield's film. So he was first introduced in Captain America Civil War, and Stark needed more people on his side to fight against Captain America on his side. He went to find Peter, stuff like that, yada yada. So I was kind of disappointed a little bit, because how I said earlier, how Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, I love the scene I told you guys. The scene I loved is just how he developed his own costume and his web shooters. Peter just Tom Holyfield's Peter did that, but Stark kind of gave him a better upgrade to his suit, which I kind of think that was a dumb move. I kind of don't like that at all, because Andrew Garfield made his own suit. Tobey Maguire, it doesn't show him making the suit, but that's his suit, he made it. It just didn't show scene of it or whatever. And I feel like, yeah, Tom Holyfield's Peter Parker made his own suit, but he made it like his suit is just a bunch of clothes. and just in certain colors, like his headpiece is red and his jacket is red and some type of blue. Then his eyes of how he develops it. Then Stark's. Then how they did it in this film, they're just like, oh hey, immediately I just give you a free upgraded suit. I feel like it's a kind of a bold move, kind of. If they only get rid of the AI and just keep it simple how it was, and just show that that's Peter's suit, I would love it very much. I like the new Spider-Man suit. Could have been done without Stark giving it to him. If he developed that suit on his own, I would like fall in love with that one, because it's like capable of my size. I don't know how high he is, but it's whatever. I like the suit. I even like the Iron Spider one, which is pretty dope. But again, I feel like that should be the suit that Stark gives him instead of the first original one, which I kind of think it's a dumb move. I feel like they shouldn't just do that, because I really want them to want the audience to see how smart that Tom Holyfield's Peter is capable of, of designing his own stuff, and not people handing it to him. I feel like that's kind of like a dumb move, and they decided to do it anyways. Then when I saw the movie Spider-Man Homecoming, it was like kind of like a somewhat of a collide between the two. It's no means bad, but it's no means like good. It's a good film, but it's not like a best film, I should say. But what was I was gonna say? Oh yeah, the plot in this one, it's like after the Civil War, that Peter was excited because he wanted to be an Avenger. I kind of feel like that I know they are gonna make a big crossover, but I feel like it shouldn't be Peter's main case of worrying becoming an Avenger. He should just worry about being himself. Just, worry about Spider-Man and Peter. Keep those two separated, but not bring them in together, because that will lead to problems. Then the villain Vulture finally began kind of like a Vulture villain. But yeah, we've seen like the different villains throughout the 3 different Spider-Man films. So we got the Tobey Maguire, which featured Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Venom and Sandman, and another version of Green Goblin, and Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man. We got to see the Lizard, Green Goblin again, the Rhino, and Electro. Then in Tom Holyfield's Spider-Man, then we got to see just Vulture. There's got to be another Spider-Man film coming soon. Spider-Man Far From Home. I feel like that film should redeem itself for this film from Homecoming, because I kind of think like the plot's kind of like, I don't want to say like original, like he kind of likes this girl, and this girl's dad is the villain that he's facing. I kind of think it's alright, but I feel they could have done something a little bit more. I don't know what it is. I feel like they could have just done something more with this film. But anyways, the film was good, and I like the ending. He decided to be more responsible and just like stay on the low ground instead of taking the offer of becoming an Avenger. But he did so later in Infinity War, which I'm not going to talk about that, because that's like an hour of talking. But yeah, how I would rank these films, it's kind of like a tough choice for me, but I don't want to like trigger everybody, but this is like my my own opinion. I would rank Andrew Garfield's film first, Tobey Maguire's second, and then Tom Holyfield's third. The reason why, because I feel like the first two, Tobey and Andrew, they did an amazing job of how connected we feel with Peter Parker. With Tom's case, he really doesn't. And the edge I give to Andrew instead of Tobey. It's just like I feel like there's more to show of more Peter Parker and Spider-Man at the same time than what Tobey did. But don't get me wrong, Tobey Maguire did his very best on those films. But yeah, without him, we couldn't make more films out of that. But yeah, I like Tobey Maguire's film. I would put it in the middle. It's not bad and it's not good, or it's good and it's not bad. I don't want to say that Tom Holyfield's film is bad. It's just like I feel like they could have done something more with the film and done something new instead of doing something that's completely, I don't know, that turned into a different side that I don't like. And Andrew Garfield, I feel like they should just make the third movie. And yeah, but they did it anyway, so yeah, that's a big bummer. Well, we'll never get to know what Amazing Spider-Man 3 will be like. There isn't a lot of theories about Sinister Six because it shows in the second film of Andrew Garfield. But yeah, that's how we'll classify it. Andrew Garfield's film is 1, Tobey Maguire is 2nd, and Tom Holyfield is 3rd. But if Amazing Spider-Man, if Spider-Man Far From Home can redeem itself from the first film, I would go back to this video and redo the list to see if they did better or worse, but time will only tell when we see the film, guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast or something. I don't really know if I can consider this a podcast, maybe like a long commentary, but I don't know. I'll call this a podcast. I'll post this on my channel, and if you guys like it, feel free to leave a like on it if you enjoyed, and if you guys enjoy the series that I'm bringing up on the table, please let me know down in the comments if I should continue or if I should stop right now. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and bye.